Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Artists of Color. I'm Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host, and I'm glad you're with me today. I want to say a few words about my guest. A couple of years ago, she started a Black Market, and that is the name of this show, the Black Market. I heard about it from people walking around the community, because if most of you who watch my show know, I get around. So, I heard about the Black Market, and I heard about it coming to Dudley. It was going to be on Washington Street, next to what was the Hamel Art Gallery. We'll talk more about that. And I kind of made my way down there. And my guest is the curator and owner of the Black Market, Kai Grant. Kai, yes. Thank you for being with me today. I am so excited.
And I'm honored. Thank you.
I am honored, too.
Yes.
You know, my first question to you is this. What is the mission of the Black Market? Because I know there's a mission.
Yes. So our intention upon opening up Black Market in June 2017 was to help reignite the creative economy inside of our commercial district, which is known as Dudley Square formerly, and now Nubian Square. And so for us, we felt as though we had a responsibility as Roxbury residents, longtime Roxbury residents, to do something to change the narrative. And we decided that after 25 years of my husband working for the T, shout out to Chris, my husband.
Oh, I didn't know Chris worked for the T.
He retired in 2016.
Okay.
And we, made a very intentional decision to put our own capital inside of our own community and open up what is known to be Black Market.
Okay.
Yes.
That is amazing. Mm-hmm. And because you're a Black woman, a Black family,
yes,
a unit,
yes,
and for you, both of you, as a unit, to come and start that. When I first went there mm-hmm. and I saw it, you know what it reminded me of? Remember Unity Square that used to be in the Edison?
Oh,
the Unity Mart.
Ujima. Yes, Ujima.
And that's what it reminded me of.
And so it's funny that you mentioned that because as a young couple, I think the Ujima Mart was around when we were in college, and that's when we started our courtship. We were both at Northeastern. And so the Ujima Mart sat at 61 Warren Street.
Exactly.
And it was right in the corner building where UG's is. And it was a wonderful place where there were stalls, and each artist or business owner had their own stall and space within. It was a cooperative and a collective. And so, Ujima Mart, A Nubian Notion, International Roots in Grove Hall, and also the Black Rep Theater in Providence, Rhode Island, are the ancestors of Black Market. So we recognize them all the time as inspirations for what we are doing.
Okay. Yeah. That's what reminded me. Mm-hmm. And when I saw it, I said, oh, yeah, it's come back.
Exactly. And that's all it is. It's all, just kind of a different iteration, a different time, but the same spirit.
Right. Now, besides having artists, mm-hmm. craftsmen, mm-hmm. women, it's mm-hmm. very funny because when I go in there, mm-hmm. I notice that a lot of your craftspeople and mm-hmm. artists are Black women.
Yes. Yes.
And
about 85%,
that's amazing.
85 to 90%. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I go because one of the reasons my big going, besides supporting, is that I love all those crafts girls and women that are making mm-hmm. those amazing body products.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I go in there and, when I get body products, and every now and then people come to my house and they, where'd you get this? I got news for you. It's one of a kind and you can't buy it in the store.
Right.
The only place you can get it, maybe, mm-hmm. is if you go down to where's the Black Market? Mm-hmm. See, and it's very interesting because I talk about it all the time, mm-hmm. and people ask, where's the Black Market? I said, mm-hmm. you must not live in Roxbury.
Right. Right.
Because
mm-hmm.
if you lived in Roxbury, you'd know about the Black Market.
Right. Well, it's interesting that you say that because one of our goals for 2020 is to really do some more outreach inside of Roxbury, and I mean, it takes marketing dollars.
Oh,
you know,
yes,
so
it does.
we're hoping to be able to really push the envelope when it comes down to letting people know who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do. The importance of, this whole reignition of a creative economy, and why it's so important to have, Black founders and makers inside of our community, and have safe spaces for them to come and sell their products. We've had about 300 micro businesses, entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs cycle through since 2017. And so, because we also host a number of different events.
And I was gonna, that was gonna be my next, my next
So you have the
response.
marketplace, which this year we had it on a once a month cycle. Next year it'll may be a little different. And our holiday markets are coming up.
Right.
And I know that you'll ask more questions around that. But what we realized is that there is literally an ecosystem that we've built and been the platform for, that's almost been the catalyst of, the socioeconomic questions and conversations that are now happening again inside of Dudley Square. And so it's been the spark of that. Initially, we had goals to help, to really close and shrink the $247,500 wealth gap between white Boston and Black Boston.
Black and brown.
And so that was, part of what we were positioning ourselves to do, is really shift the narrative and change how people think about our community, our commercial district, and really shift it into a rebranding.
Okay. All right. And I that's important because I did notice one thing when I first started going. A lot, the community comes together. Those that know about the market come and they flood it, which is good. But I've also noticed, because it's a little thing that you mentioned, Black Boston, white Boston. And I noticed that Black Boston, white Boston, that's living in our community, are coming down from the hill and in the surrounding, and they're flooding, or they're trying to flood, the market.
Well, I
see it.
A time of year, so a specific time of year that you do see a lot of folks come to support the market is during the holiday markets. That's when I see a lot of folks that aren't indigenous to Roxbury. They may have come here, purchased a house recently, and they're kind of new to the neighborhood. And we also have a large population of white supporters that come because we have a Black Santa pop-up. And so they bring their children, typically children that they've adopted from the continent. And so they'll come in because they want to make sure their children have cultural competency. So it's an important space in that way too. But I think the complexion of our community is shifting, it's changing.
Yeah, a lot.
And so you will see, I think we have the most diverse marketplace though, which is, to me, one of the things that I love about Black Market so much, is that we're not just diverse in race, but in ethnicity. We represent over 25 nations, from Zimbabwe to Ireland to Guyana, Jamaica, and everything in between. We also are diverse in gender and gender fluidity.
Oh, there's our beautiful place.
Oh, there it is. That was after our Halloween. We had a Halloween
and I
market.
missed the Halloween.
Yes. These are the dates actually for the Black Friday weekends.
Okay.
Hoping to make sure folks really put this in their calendars and tell people, share the information, it's important that we support these artisans and
Yes,
these,
very
you know,
important.
business owners as they, you know, because the holiday season is their biggest season of the year.
Oh, yes, it is. It very is.
yeah.
Much so.
And there are addresses there, 2136 Washington Street.
Now, tell me about.
Oh, that's the Halloween.
Oh,
yes.
my goodness.
Yes, all the children's. It was wonderful. It was led by Roxalyn James, who is a young woman that grew up with Malcolm, our third son. Okay. So it's a young woman, and she envisioned doing something for Halloween inside of our community for kids, because there's nothing that goes on inside of Dudley Square.
Thank you.
Not
Nothing.
one thing.
Not
and
a
so
thing.
she pulled that together. These are pictures of our Art and Healing Festival, the Afro-Indigenous Art and Healing Festival.
Which I haven't gotten to yet.
Yes. And the first one was this summer, so we're going to do it again. And, you know, my beautiful husband on the right.
Yes, he is.
And then this
Who
is
is that
actually,
young man?
yeah, this is Vic Breedy's husband, one of our vendors. They just got married this summer.
Oh, how
And
beautiful.
so, yeah, it was wonderful to have
Absolutely.
him. In the, you know, they always are in the market. They support the market.
Yes.
Vic is an author, and she's also a
She
marketer. You know her. She does.
I didn't know she was an author.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I had no
yeah.
idea. Okay. So
Yeah. Our marketplace.
look at that.
And you see folks. My nephew Najee.
Oh.
Janie, who's there.
Oh, yeah, he and I
representing the
met.
brand Seed of Ocean. Yes.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
There's the full market.
There's the market.
In full effect.
Yep. There
Wonderful.
it is.
This was probably 2018, maybe during the fall. I'm not sure because there's
I
no
like
snow or. Oh, that's part of the festival.
Ooh, I like that. Nubian, go ahead.
That's on the Nubian Gallery
That is
next
beautiful.
door, which used to be the hair mall.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
You said it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
What has happened? I
Okay.
noticed, I knew he was leaving.
Yes.
I knew he was closing. Had no idea who was going to become the new owner, the new proprietor, or whatever. And then somebody told me that the black market was taking over. So I said, okay, what's happening?
It's not the. So I just want to be clear.
Yes.
There is new ownership.
Right.
We had Tim and Bobby Hamill inside of 2164 Washington Street for 30 years.
Exactly.
Two owners of African art, who aren't of color, who aren't of African descent.
Right.
They have since moved on, and their idea was to ensure that our community was taken care of and was really highlighted. And so it just happened to be that they struck a deal with someone who is black. And so the new owner is Richard Taylor, who is a mentor and a dear friend of my family. And my dad and him were really close, with both graduates of Northeastern and also in Omega Sci-Fi. And so, he is now the owner of the gallery. And so his idea and vision is to have this legacy, create co-working spaces for artists on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
The 2nd floor remains the gallery show space.
Oh,
and then the
good.
1st floor will be very similar to Black Market and have a flexible event space where, and also the 2nd floor can be event oriented as well. Okay. But the flexible event space on the ground level with programming for the community.
Okay.
So it's a very wonderful transition.
Well,
it's going
so
online in
excited.
2020. So we're going to invite the community to submit. We're going to have a request for event proposals. So that community members can host different events.
Events there?
Yes. And so what we're trying to do is have another economic multiplier inside of Dudley Square that focuses on, again, bridging that gap, that huge, $250,000 wealth gap.
Yes.
But doing it with the art and culture being at the center, since it is an official state
and
designated
it's a cultural district.
Cultural district.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Besides the market itself, And we did see a couple of different
several
things.
events, yeah.
Tell me about different events that you have, that you've programmed within the Black Market.
Oh, yes. So we do movie and film screenings, which I think is, wonderful. We've had a director come in from New York who screened a film around gentrification. And so, important topic matters get discussed in the market all the time. We've had discussions on race. We've hosted and curated our own art galleries where we've had 60 feet of art from Black artists inside of our community, including Paul Goodnight and Larry, all of the top, yes, exactly.
The top artists.
Exactly.
Yes.
And, had interactive moments within that art show where, we've had stage performances and also different installations within the market. We've hosted shifting and changing the narrative panels. We did a vigil for Nipsey Hussle when he passed away.
Yep.
Had to turn people away because there was so many people that came out to that. Wow. We host different civic engagement meetings around, the district.
The district itself.
Yeah, because, Dudley is in crisis.
Yeah, I know that.
And so, we had a series 3 meetings, Dudley in crisis meetings, and over 400 plus stakeholders came out, all 3 of those meetings. And we did charrettes, and we're putting together a plan to present it to the mayor. So we're still working diligently on that to get that going.
Will there be more?
Then we do fun things too.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not just
come on,
all
let's talk
about
about the fun
meetings,
stuff.
right? We host parties.
Yes,
and,
you do.
Mini conferences, around house music and around, dancing, and you've seen some fitness there. We've done a whole day of yoga, a yoga play day. We do self-care marketplaces and pop-ups. We've done fashion. We've done Mother's Day brunch this year, a vegan Mother's Day brunch. We've done Black Panther events where it was just incredible. We've had murals, and public art is important to us.
Yes, it is.
And giving place for
culture.
that. Yes.
It's very important to
a lot
our
of
culture.
things. A lot of things.
Yeah. Where do you see young people, young artists, young people like the little people that you did the Halloween party for? Where do you see them fitting in and being part of the Black Market?
I think we have, Catherine, one of our best, she's just like you, she's one of our best supporters. She comes in all the time with her son Malachi.
Yep.
So she always tells me, Malachi asks her, when are we going to the Black Market, Mom? When are we going to the Black, the one thing that I love about the Black Market is we have vendors and business owners that come in with their children to events. So it becomes a family affair. So entrepreneurship and art and culture and civic engagement become a part of their normal everyday life because they go to different events at the market. That same year when Black Panther came out and we did an adult event, we also had Wakanda for the kids. And so they got to come in, and we had all kinds of artwork that they could work on, and different stations that they can go to. We had music, a live DJ, and for them, it's now becoming second nature to see so many different examples of creatives and of business people and of community members. It is community. They're growing up with this as a norm, and we don't see this in many other, it's just not something that we see here, especially inside of Boston.
That's right,
on a daily basis. It's a safe space for them. They're going to be protected, they're going to be watched over, and they're going to learn how to commune and how to become community.
And that's important.
Yes.
That is very, very important.
We're going to launch and I'll give you a preview. We're going to launch a kids market next year.
Really?
Yes, we will. Kids will become vendors and business owners.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That is an amazing
Well,
idea.
we have to give them opportunities and
Yeah, because
platforms.
if you don't, yeah,
Who's going to do it?
do it. If you don't,
Who's
we
gonna
don't.
do it?
Who's gonna do it? Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Before we take a break, which will be in a little bit, I want you again, tell my audience, what's the heartfelt mission of the Black Market?
The heartfelt mission.
Yes.
To see my people doing well.
There you go.
To see us moving as a force. To really re-engage with the thought of self-sufficiency. To be at the front of things versus always
in the back.
being reactionary. To have a platform for, a multi-purpose space that we feel as though we all own it. And I would say the last thing is, I think, for us to be able to provide for our future.
Okay. Well, we are going to go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to continue this discussion.
Okay.
Because I waited for this for a minute.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
I am so happy you're here. You. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Artists of Color. I am your host, Elaine Hall-Corbin, and I want you to say kudos and happy wonderfulness to my special guest, Kai Grant of the Black Market, owner and curator of the Black Market.
Yes.
And we've been having great conversations because we've talked a little bit about a little of everything. And my excitement of when I saw that the Black Market was open. When I even heard about the Black Market, I got very excited. And I said, I can't wait. I can't wait. You guys have been there in 2 years now.
Yes.
Pushing
It's
3.
June 2017. So
Yes.
this upcoming June
Will be
2020 will be our third
Third
birthday.
birthday. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about just now was for your this year, you had a young lady who I think she was from Jamaica, who was a she had a band.
Yes.
And
she
was
that's
amazing.
Sophia. Yes.
Sophia.
She's doing another event. We just planned it this morning. She's going to do a Caribbean Christmas party.
You're kidding?
Yeah, so it's going to be all, different types of music from reggae to calypso to kumba to, all kinds of Caribbean music and like
Okay.
food and students. She's a student at Berkeley. And so,
Oh, she
yeah,
is?
she's at Berkeley College of Music. And
Okay.
so we actually hired her the first summer or the first fall, or it could have been 2018, just as kind of like an intern. And, she was really impacted so much that she has 2 majors, and she changed one of her majors to entrepreneurship because she was that influenced by, what
by
was
the
happening.
market. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
There you go. And that's it.
Yeah,
Community.
community.
Unity. Coming together.
And now she's a co-curator of content for us. So,
wonderful.
she's done several fundraisers. Her fundraisers have raised over $1,000 for hurricane victims inside of the islands. She's done 2 so far.
We need that.
One this year and one last year. I mean, she's just a wonderful young woman who we value. And
Yeah, she is.
we're happy to have her, be part of the Black Market team and tribe.
Oh, amazing. She's a great great performer.
Right.
I got a little bit of video from her when I was there that day. And her and I had a little bit of a conversation.
Nice.
But yeah, I love her. She's great. Had a wonderful time.
Yes.
Let's talk about the holidays.
Oh.
What are we doing for the holidays?
So, one of the things that I love, in my family, we have a big family. And so Thanksgiving was like one of my favorite, if not my favorite holiday. And that's because we would get together and you would see everybody. And my Nana Janie had a long table. She had a dining room and a living room that connected, but then had those pocket doors.
Doors, yes.
Yeah, so she would open up the pocket doors. And everybody sat at the table. Unless you were too young, you had to sit at the kiddie table.
The kiddie
You had to
table.
get the kiddie table.
That kiddie table.
And then you would graduate to the big table. And so for us, Thanksgiving is a big holiday. But I come out of 20 years, my background is in retail management. And so as I became an adult in raising my kids, I always tried to make sure Thanksgiving was really focused on. But the next day, I would always have to work. Because it was Black Friday. And so right now, we're really working on our Black Friday weekend. And I know that there was a flyer up with our Friday. We're doing like a little evening soiree this time where we'll have some wine and some craft beer and some food, like little eats and things like that from 6 to 9. So it's special, it's different. It's the no stress Black Friday.
I like that.
It's the I don't have to be at Best Buy at
2:58
a.m. in the
Thank
morning
you very much.
on Labor Day in order to get that TV.
And the line is down the street,
yes.
2 blocks away.
We're shifting it from that to more of something I think will be more of a girls' night out, guys' night out.
Ooh, I like that.
A little bit of a soiree.
I love
And then
that.
the next day is really focused on Small Business Saturday. And hopefully people will come out and really make a point to support small businesses who often get erased out of the conversation because we're so enamored with the Walmarts and the Targets and folks like that. And then the next day, what we've decided to do is have what we're calling Sunday brunch. So folks can come in and get a little, more of a chicken and jerk waffle plate, and brunch and shop.
Yes.
And do so that it's a nice little culmination, like the end of a culmination of an entire holiday weekend.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
Is Chris going to be cooking?
Yes, he will.
Because the last time Chris cooked, I went down there to get something from Chris and it was all gone.
Oh, well, come early, folks. Got to come early.
Chris told me, the next time we have an event, you make sure I will save you some.
Yes,
I said, okay, Chris, I'm counting on that.
Yes.
Because it's funny, because every time I go to Chris to ask him a question, he says, don't ask me. You better go ask that woman in charge.
That's so funny.
I said, okay, I will do that.
Hilarious.
What's the future? What's the future of the black market?
I think
what is your future of the black market?
I think for us is really being able to help to accelerate businesses and get them into positions where the different ways of resources that come through our community, they're prepared for it. And they're ready to take over some of the storefronts that are going to be built with the $500 million of development that's coming from Dudley Square.
I know.
1 mile radius. And if they desire, I think there'll be a lot of different things that come through in 2020. Different contests where they can win monies. We want to definitely do a $5,000 pitch contest and so forth. I think it's really important to think about how it is we all scale. So, for us, scaling looks like partnering and managing the Nubian Gallery and really assisting with that 10,000 square foot building to be another space similar to Black Market in the sense where, Yep, the
that,
Hammock, yes.
that's that's going to be the new name, the Nubian Gallery?
Yes, the Nubian Gallery. That's what
Okay.
Mr. Richard Taylor's calling it.
The Nubian Gallery.
That's what he named
I
it.
am so excited.
Yeah, so there are a lot of changes. I mean, we see ourselves doing this type of work around the globe, and, you know, around the region first and maybe the country, but really, you know, having spaces that speak directly to populations that are underserved, populations that, you know, need assistance but are not handicapped. And that's the thing. We have so much. We have, I think, the most human capital in regards to talent inside of this city. You're not going to get a richer neighborhood.
That's
And
so,
it may
so,
not
so
be
true.
rich monetarily,
No,
but it
but-
is so rich in so many other ways.
Yes.
You know,
Talent,
and so
art.
retaining that is the key. How can we keep those people here? How can we make sure that their incomes increase so that
In
they can
order for
afford to
to
stay
stay
here?
here.
You know, how
Yes,
can we
I hear you,
ensure
Val.
that, you know, builders and developers are creating not just, you know, low-income rentals, but why aren't we talking about subsidized business spaces? And also, you know, condos, commercial condos for ownership.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so those are the type of, that's what I see for our future is, you know, we're still standing in the gap, agitating, you know, and at the same time, we try to partner too. So we're not just agitating, we're actually saying to folks, you know, this is how we are envisioning ourselves as a community, and this is what we want to leave in terms of a legacy, because we have to pass the baton.
Oh, definitely.
That's why we do a lot with millennials. That's why we do a lot with Gen Y and Gen Z, because we believe
Oh, so that's what they call them.
Yeah.
I
the
had no
next-
idea.
Yeah.
Every now and then my children, what are you talking about?
Generation
I'm not
Y
there.
and Z.
Okay.
But we try to make sure that we give them license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
give them
beautiful.
license.
Yeah, so they can, like you
Yeah.
said, pass the
How are they
baton,
gonna
keep
learn?
it going. Yeah, how are they going to learn?
It's similar
That's
to
why
what
I asked you,
Mr.
what are we
Taylor's
doing with the
with
young
us.
ones?
Yes, what are we
doing
doing?
with the young ones? What
That's
are we doing
right.
with the teenagers? You know,
Yeah.
where are we taking them?
Yeah.
I agree.
And so getting them ready, you know, and also getting ourselves ready, because we need to be sustained. And
Yes.
so supporting, you know, the events in the marketplaces and things of that sort are very important to us, because that's what keeps, you know, vendors vending with us. Artists, you know, need that type of support because they
Yeah,
need
they
to
do.
eat.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
Yep. I have folks that say that, you know, they work 6-7 days a week, and they say, yeah, you know, brother got to eat.
That
And I'm
brother got to
saying,
eat.
Brother got to eat.
Sister got to eat. We all got to eat.
We all got to eat. We got to eat. We got to support and, you know, feed our families. You know, whether you're a family of one or a family of 5.
Yes.
You know, still got to do that. I want to go to the business portion of what Black Market does, because you mentioned about doing programs for businesses and for entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And I may have missed it, but what programs is the Black Market doing themselves?
I think what's going to be really important in 2020 is to highlight our partnerships. And so we're partnering with a couple of different accelerators that are going to help to program, you know, so we'll be working with different accelerators like Roxbury Innovation Center and also Fairmont Innovation Center to really have a connection with the Dudley Street corridor. And that way we're able to be a little more comprehensive in how we're rolling out programming like technical assistance. We're also partnering with the City of Boston around technical assistance for small businesses.
Oh, wonderful.
And also grant monies or debt capital that they can have access to, because most of the time if you go to a traditional bank, you're not able to get a loan.
That's true.
You have to have a certain amount of revenue coming in. You have to be in business for a certain amount of years.
Yes.
And so, you know, those are the major barriers for small businesses, especially small businesses with Black founders. So we need to ensure that we are kind of creating ways, because we tried to launch in July of 2019, but we had to take a step back because there were so many different variables and outcomes that we did not recognize. And we knew then that it would be better if we tightened our plan up and partnered with some folks that have been doing it, and also help them, because the way the marketplace operates is really very succinct, in the sense that these accelerators that I have aforementioned, they help businesses, but then at the end of that 8-week period or 12-week period, there isn't really a time where businesses are actually able to launch. So what happens with Black Market, which is in contrast, and this is why we're partnering, is that businesses actually get a chance to launch their dreams, and they get a chance to come and set up without incurring $35 per square foot rents. They can set up for a certain amount of money inside of our market and really test out the marketplace. They really get a chance to get feedback from customers in the moment. They can ask questions. They can have people try things. They can see how their products are received or maybe not received. Okay? So that's the difference, is you actually, if you have an idea or a concept, it's great to go through the ideation process where you think about things and you dream about things and you write about it. But at some point you have to launch. And there were not any, where are the spaces to really launch? Yeah, and then having a consistent foot traffic flow, in the sense where you have folks that are cycling through, and you know, it's always going to be different inside the marketplace, which I love, because I like to keep it really, you know,
you
fluid.
like it fluid.
Yeah,
yep,
I
exactly.
want that. But I think it's important that, you know, our community has a place where they can launch, and that's what Black Market is.
Okay, I like that. That's amazing, because I always like, when I go there, I always see new people, but I also
meet new people all the time, make new connections.
Yes, but you know, it's funny because there are times that I go there and I said, wait a minute, there was somebody here.
It gets confusing sometimes for folks.
Month
who had this product
who had
and this,
that product, and I'm coming back for more.
Right, but that's why.
They're not here.
But that's on the business owner. What they should do is they should always keep your name, your email, keep in touch, let folks know, thank you. They need to send out a thank you to you for coming, or something that, you know, continues.
Keeps the connection.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's what, you know, we need to do better in terms of our own marketing, but also, you know, the business owners that are our partners, our vendor partners.
Exactly.
Because that says that I care about you, and thank you because you planted a seed inside of my business.
There you go.
Yes.
Because I know there are a couple of your vendors that I've gotten stuff from that's amazing, and I love the product. But you know what? I've called, text, emailed,
and nothing,
and no one's gotten back to me.
And that's their loss, unfortunately.
You know, so then I have to go around Black Market and find me
something
a
different.
new vendor that's got the same similar product. Because since I've been going to the Black Market, I don't buy my body products and things from any place else. I'm not doing going in, like you said, going into Targets or Walmart or Walgreens.
Yes.
I don't do that.
Yes.
You know, I may have 1-2 little products, but I mean, as far as the oils and the things that I get them from there. You know, so when I'm missing somebody and I'm trying to locate them,
right?
You know, and like you said, that's their loss, not mine.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it's just. So what's going to happen for Christmas? We've talked about Thanksgiving.
So
we talked about a pop-up.
I don't know if your team has a picture of Black Santa, but every Christmas we have Black Santa.
I had a picture of the Black Santa.
Right, you have a picture
I have a picture of Black Santa from this class.
He flies in to Dudley on his sleigh. Okay, he comes right into our community on his sleigh. He prioritizes it. And it's such a wonderful time because our Black Santa, first of all, is handsome.
Yes, he is.
And
I
he's
gotta admit
actually
that.
really young. Like, he's a
No,
young Black
he's
Santa. He's
very
not
young.
an older guy.
Nope, he's
But
young.
everybody loves him.
See?
And he loves everybody. Like, it's just a wonderful time. This year, our Black Santa Marketplace, which is our final marketplace of the year, is December 7th and 8th.
Oh, okay.
It's the first weekend, the
Weekend.
first full weekend of December.
Okay.
And so from 11 to 6, actually, he'll be there from 11 to 4.
Oh, all right. Well, I gotta
Even
get
though
down
we
there when
stay
he's
open
there.
till 6. But you want to come early. It's a great time to take a photo with him.
Yep.
And you can have that as a Christmas card or whatever you want, you know. It's just a nice, fun time.
Yeah.
You know, we typically will have like hot cocoa and
Yep.
things of that sort. And that weekend, I think we're going to, that Sunday, we'll probably have some more food.
I'm
So,
coming.
yes.
I'm coming.
Yes. There are a couple of different groups that are coming to support the Urban League, the Young Professional
The
Network.
Young Professional Network, yes.
They're going to come and support in a group. We're looking for other groups that want to come and support Black Market.
Okay.
So if we,
In what way?
like say there's a senior
support?
group, let's say the Goldenaires
Okay.
out of the Freedom House want to come and support Black Market, they can organize it and, you know, come down and let us know so that we can prepare little special things for them. And,
Oh,
You know,
okay.
just like having a special mini brunch for
Brunch.
folks, you know,
Okay,
just
that-
they can, you know, or you
So
know,
that-
whether
in
they
that-
can get
in
some
that way.
samples and some little trinkets and things like that,
Oh, okay.
you know.
All right.
So it's really a wonderful time to bring the whole entire family.
Yep.
Either Black Friday weekends, because a lot of folks are home for Thanksgiving. They come back to Boston for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, a
And
lot
so,
of people come back to
you know,
Boston.
come with everybody. And the same thing with our Black Santa Marketplace.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I've been meaning. I wanted to know about
Yep.
what we was doing.
Yes, December 7th and 8th.
All right. I am excited. You know, and I have to say, I never thought anything like this would be in the Dudley area. I remember when I was there when they did the hearings
Yes,
of the cultural district
yes.
before it became the cultural district,
Mm-hmm.
and had no idea, listening to you talk, that I got your picture. That's what was in the back of your head.
And so when was that? That must have been, was that 2016?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so, you know,
I
come from.
got pictures of you. I got an audio
Oh,
of you
on the
talking.
hearing. Okay,
on the
yeah.
hearing. I was sitting there front row.
What did I say?
You were talking about how your family being
Yeah.
part of the Rossby community.
Yeah, for 100 years.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Mm-hmm.
And how we needed to. I'm not going to say take back, but I guess I can. Look at there.
Oh, yes, there's Eddie.
There you go.
Hey. And that's Owen.
See?
Owen is my one of our mentees, Lakeisha Benjamin's son.
Oh,
So I love that picture. That's like one of my favorites.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about, you know, bringing the district up.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what you were saying.
Yes.
Bringing and then here you come.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
I think it happened naturally. The genesis story behind Black Market, and I'll try to really make it, you know, Christopher and I have been married for 28 years. We intentionally stayed in Roxbury when our friends moved outside of the city to wherever, whether it's North Carolina,
East,
Atlanta,
there.
Randolph,
But
so,
you
and folks.
stayed.
But we stayed intentionally.
And there was a reason.
And there's reasons. I mean, I think, and no offense to those folks, you can move wherever you'd like.
Right.
But I think for us, I've been taught to always keep your resources inside of your community. And so
Okay.
that's the tough part is we're splintered. We don't have an economic base anymore.
No, we don't.
And which means we won't have an artistic base, we won't have an education base, we won't have anything else. Because it starts with economics.
That's
You
true.
know, because it all stems from your house. And so if you don't have control of your housing because you don't own
it.
anything, then you don't have control over anything else. And so when we began this conversation, which, just naturally, organically happened. I, come from retail, and I understand it in a way where I know how to drive, interest into either a product or a place. Or a brand. And my husband came out of a lineage of entrepreneurship. He's London-born Jamaican. And so for him, his family owned amazing businesses here in Mattapan and in Dorchester, and were the founders of the Caribbean Cultural Center, 3Cs.
Really?
And so his father was the founding president of 3Cs.
Oh my gosh.
And so, together I think, we make a really good team.
Oh yeah.
But in regards to the thought process or the genesis of Black Market, we had an opportunity to spend time in Egypt. It was our 25th wedding anniversary. And so for us, we were charged while we were there. It was like almost like plugging in your cell phone. We were charged and came back with this vision, knowing that A Nubian Notion was closing, and knowing that we were the notion that Brother Malik Abdel Halak had. And so because I'm so rooted and understand the history of my community.
There you go.
And I also felt, I wanted to kind of utilize my skill set and do something fabulous for our community, something that I know that, could easily fit into Newberry Street. Mm-hmm. And so we looked down Dudley and saw this space that was empty.
Yep.
And decided that we were going to invest our own money into putting something there. We didn't know exactly what it was. But when we thought about it, I said, well, what if I got products from around the African diaspora and started, selling them within that space? We decided to, after Egypt, 60 days later, we were in Senegal.
Ooh.
And so that went from this space where it was potentially going to be my boutique, and I would invite other women that were like myself to the table and having their products inside of this boutique, to, well, why don't we think about this space and look at it because it lends itself to something cooperative. And I presented to my husband, I said, what if we called it Black Market? And from there, we came back March 1st, and on June the 10th, 2017, we opened. 90 days later. So it was quite the feat. But, we're visionaries and we're also artists ourselves. My husband is deeply engaged in music, as you know. Mm-hmm. And provides music by DJing. More than music, but sound. He's a sound person. But yeah, so we together kind of pulled the pieces together, and because of our community connections and our relationships, and we've been able to build something. It hasn't been easy. There are a lot of times where you don't necessarily always feel that level of love and support, and so when we see your face walk in and we see you coming down the street, we're like, here comes trouble. That's what
I give you a security guard.
That's what Lyrtus says. Lyrtus, the head of our security.
I give him
the Minister of Defense for Black Market.
I give him all the time.
And he's 6'6", y'all.
Yeah, and
he's
it doesn't bother me a bit.
And here comes Elaine, okay, coming in, just giving him a fit, And it just we have a community. That's what we have. We have a family, and family is not always easy. We don't always get along. And there's, relationships that have ebb and flows.
Yes. Yes.
So we make it work, though.
I can see that.
The community needs it. If folks don't support it, we won't be here. I mean, that's as simple as it is. And sometimes we have short-term memories,
That's why you're sitting here today.
I'm here.
I don't know if I told you. Mm-hmm. This is a live show. We have no idea how many thousands of people are listening to this, watching this right now.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
here.
Yes.
And I will be down there.
And we hope to not go anywhere.
And
that's
you're
our
not
goal.
going anywhere.
Yes.
You're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have to say, as a young old elder, I am proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am very proud of you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
When I heard that there was going to be a black market on Washington Street and Dudley Square, I said, well, who went? I said, okay, we're good now. We're good now.
I think it's just the beginning. And I think the Nubian Gallery is going to bring a whole other bunch of excitement.
Ooh,
so many good things are going to happen with that.
You know?
And then other spaces.
Going to come.
You know, that jazz club is going to be great when that comes.
Jazz Urbana, I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, waiting for. So, you know, that's what it's about. It's about a whole, you know, plethora of different spaces that we can have so that you can bounce and do crawls and
please and runs and walks.
Exactly.
And, you know, come together and you're right there.
Haley House is opening up again.
Yeah, I heard that
which
too.
will be exciting because we need to continue to do the work because folks go into, you know, jail and prison. They need to have places where they can come out and retrain and re-enter into the community.
I agree.
And be accepted, you know.
Thank you.
So important work, you know. I think for us, we'd like to see more black ownership. That's what we're
love to see.
That's the goal for us.
Yes.
Is black ownership and really forging and pioneering that because that's what we grew up with. And why isn't it here anymore?
And all so of a sudden you look up and it's not there anymore.
No. And
it's
so,
not there.
Which means that our employment numbers are much higher. Because black business owners hire black employees.
Thank you.
You know, they'll take more of a risk because they are culturally comfortable with the idea of, you know, hiring someone that looks like them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you for coming and visiting me today.
Yes. Come out, y'all. Come out to the marketplaces.
Come out to the market.
Yes.
Thank you, my audience, while you all watched at home. Thank you for being with us today. I'm Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host, and you have been watching Artist of Color. See you again in December.